So this device could be the single greatest help to beginning golfers, but it could also be the best training aid available to help keep current golfers calibrated. Let's get it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. And welcome to 2022. That's right, it's a brand new year. It is a fresh start for everybody out there. I know a lot of you have already made your New Year's resolutions. I hope that a lot of you have some similar New Year's resolutions for yourself to improve your golf, to be better, to have more fun, to get out there and experience the greatest game on the planet, golf. This year, I hope to step up the content a little bit as we evolve and move through the calendar of the year. The content will get better. I hope that the experience out here and on course, wherever I may be in putting up episodes, I hope that they will be a more enjoyable experience for you. It could be something really special. So let's get this channel jacked up and pumped up and into the gym for 2022. And let's see if we can throw on some good old Golf Test Dummy muscle. You know, I love to ask you guys questions, so I'm going to start 2022 off the right way. Here we go. I've got a question for all of you out there. Name something that almost all golf instructors, no matter what system or method or approach they take, name something that almost all golf instructors preach about. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Is that enough time for you? Okay, let's move on. So what I came up with when I thought about this very question was the swing plane. The swing plane. I mean, everybody, all coaches agree that having your swing, your club, everything working on plane is universally applicable to any golf method, any golf swing. All of my studies, all of the videos I've watched, everything I've read, the articles, the VHS tapes back in the day, the online stuff that I've done, all the research, the comments from you guys, every teacher I've listened to, they all think that the swing plane has a huge place in trying to develop and teach and coach people up to become better players than they were the day before. The swing plane, namely being on the plane in your delivery into the golf ball, is huge. They will all tell you that that is a very, very crucial component to a great golf swing, getting your club on plane. Now, if you've been following this channel for any period of time, you know that throughout all of my swing reviews and throughout just normal golf, conventional golf, I have struggled quite a bit with getting my club off plane at the top of my backswing and then having to work it back in some shape or fashion to get back into a position that is slightly on plane in order to make contact with the golf ball and send it down range. That is something that I've struggled with and I continue to struggle with to this day. Now, if we can all agree on that, then what exactly am I talking about today? What is the training aid that I feel has been probably the most overlooked, the most forgotten, the biggest dust collector, the treadmill in the corner of your bedroom that collects all the clothes and books and boxes and the flotsam and jetsam of your daily life? It becomes the new coat rack. What training aid is the equivalent of the treadmill in the corner of your bedroom? I personally believe that to be those giant PVC hoops, those big circles of PVC that are set on an inclined plane on stands that you see at driving ranges and golf courses. Now, I can honestly say that I think there are less of those in existence nowadays. It used to be when I started out playing golf in the 90s, man, you couldn't go to a driving range at a golf course or on the side of the highway that didn't have at least one of those PVC hoops, those big apparatus sitting out there in some place for people to use. Sometimes I would see multiples of those, and I got to tell you, they're a bit of an endangered species. I haven't seen many of those around. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the last place that I saw one. Now, if you're familiar with these, and I'm sure that you are, they used to be a staple. And if you remember these, when you're a beginning golfer and you're first starting out, you look at those and you're like, what is that? You think, okay, well, that's part of golf. That's what golfers actually use, right? It's a good piece of kit. This is proper. This is what people, they use to train, right? And then quickly, the experienced golfers start to shoo you away from it. You start to realize that it's almost the butt of a joke. That's for babies, that's for beginners, that's for people who don't know what they're doing, that's for people who don't know how to make a circle. Now, I made a video a little while back, you can go watch it. It's in my single plane swing series review where I talked about Mo norming and making the circle. Making the circle. It's become sort of a mantra to me. It's almost something that I use as a single swing thought now, just to make the circle around me, because it sounds elementary, but I honestly have forgotten about it. And a lot of the instruction now, it gets so complex and so complicated, and it just becomes overrun with all of these technical terms that you need a degree from some fancy college to understand and interpret what it is they're talking about. There's so much data out there now that something so crude and so elementary, something so simple as just making the circle around you, it sounds like, well, duh, of course I'm going to make a circle. But human beings are machines, just like any other kind of machines. We're just made out of organic material and electrical synapses and a gelatinous glob inside of a skull. Honestly, making a circle can be a lot more complicated than you think, and it becomes a more difficult task to actually complete. But if you can take yourself back, you don't even have to have one of these PVC hoops around. If you could take yourself back and just close your eyes and kind of imagine you're standing in that hoop. And those hoops, you could usually adjust the pitch to where if you were using a driver, it would be flatter, or if you were using a 9-iron, it would be a little bit more upright because of the length of the club being shorter and your distance to the golf ball being a little closer. But if you can set up and put the club on that hoop, I bet if you close your eyes and you swing around yourself, you can almost hear the steel of the shaft in your iron scratching against that PVC hoop as it travels around. From that, there's a lot of feedback that you can get. You can start to ingrain the feel of actually coming in on that straight line to the ball, being down the target line. So many golfers, 85% of golfers, are slicers. What's a slice? It's an open club face and coming over the top, outside to in. Well, if you're inside of that PVC hoop and that is lined up at your target line and you stand inside of it square and you swing around there with your shaft scratching against that PVC hoop the whole time, you can't possibly come outside to in. You have to be down the line. You can even set it up to where you're coming a little bit from inside to out if you aim it a little right of your target. So it could eliminate the slice for so many golfers, but we never use it. We just poke fun at it. We just make jokes. It's almost like at the carnival or the fair, they got the Bigfoot family cut out with the holes for your face, and everybody sticks their face in there, and tourists are snapping pictures of it. It's a joke. It's something you mock. I mean, it's stuffed over in the corner of the driving range of the golf course, if it's even there anymore, and it's collecting more dust than a VHS tape collection. There's a million ways to move your body, but there's really only one way that this club can interact with that golf ball correctly and efficiently. That's to have the club head lagging behind the grip on the way to the golf ball. You have to make contact with the golf ball before you bottom out. Look, I'm no pro. I'm not a high-level golfer. I'm certainly not Tiger Woods or Dustin Johnson or Rory McIlroy. I'm none of those guys. And I never will be. I'll never be as good as they are. But I have studied more things about the golf game, watched more, read more, tried more, reviewed more swings. They're all on my channel. You can go back and check them out. I've done a lot of in-depth swing method reviews. I'm not certified and I didn't go to some special school to learn some certain way. I feel like I've got a lot to offer you guys here, and I'm telling you, of all the roads I've been down and everything I've studied, it all comes back to just making the circle. And being on plane is something that every instructor will agree is highly important. There is no better way to be on plane than to swing on a plane made of PVC. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. Leave me some comments. Help me grow the channel in 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Check out the links down below in the description. There's all kinds of ways to save yourself money and to support the channel. We're a lot like PBS here, and I'll see you in the next video.